What if I told you one man conquered most of the known world before he turned 30? No guns, no modern armies. Just strategy, speed, and sheer ambition. This isn't just a story of conquests. This is the rise of Alexander the Great, the man who tried to become a god. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why his empire still shapes our world today. Alexander was born in 356 BC in Macedonia. His father, King Philip II, one of the greatest military reformers in history. His tutor, Aristotle, the most brilliant philosopher of the ancient world. From childhood, Alexander was told two things. You are destined to rule, and you must be greater than your father. He took that to heart. At just 16 years old, Alexander was already commanding troops in battle. At 18, he fought beside his father at the Battle of Chaeronea, crushing the combined forces of the Greek city-states, and then everything changed. Philip II was assassinated. Alexander was only 20 years old, surrounded by enemies, and suddenly he was king. Most new rulers would focus on securing their throne. Alexander did something insane. He attacked the Persian Empire, the largest empire the world had ever seen. He was outnumbered, outmatched, but he was unstoppable. At the Battle of Issus, Alexander didn't just command from the rear. He personally led the cavalry charge straight at the Persian king, Darius III. Darius fled in terror, and his entire army collapsed. City after city, Asia Minor, Phoenicia, Egypt. In Egypt, Alexander wasn't just hailed as a liberator. He was crowned pharaoh, a mortal man now worshipped as divine. He founded the city of Alexandria, a beacon that would become the greatest center of learning and culture in the ancient world. And he was just getting started. In 331 BC, Alexander faced Darius one final time at the Battle of Gaugamela. The Persians had overwhelming numbers. Alexander had pure military genius. Using precision, speed, and shock tactics, he shattered the Persian army forever. The Persian Empire, the superpower of its day, fell. Alexander became the master of Asia, but for him, victory was never enough. He pushed his army farther into the unknown lands of Central Asia, then all the way to India. They crossed deserts, scaled mountains, and fought relentless wars. His soldiers were exhausted, pleading to go home. But Alexander dreamed of reaching the edge of the world. Finally, his army refused to march a step further. For the first time in his life, Alexander was forced to stop. Just a few years later, in 323 BC, at just 32 years old, Alexander the Great died in Babylon. He left no clear heir, no plan for succession. His vast empire shattered almost immediately, torn apart by his own generals. But his legacy, that never died. Alexander spread Greek culture, language, and ideas across 3 continents, creating what we now call the Hellenistic world. Science, art, philosophy, and warfare were transformed forever. The Romans learned from him. Napoleon admired him. Generals still study his tactics today. Alexander didn't just conquer land, he conquered history itself. If Alexander's ambition inspired you, destroy that like button. Subscribe for more legendary warriors and untold history. And comment below, was Alexander truly great or just dangerously ambitious? Your answer might start a war in the comments.